Hi, I'm John Evans, and welcome to the PIC Connection. Stay tuned for a great show. Today we'll be talking with Rusty Smalley of the George Smalley Company, talking about all the green programs that he has going on in the Fayette County area. Also, we'll be talking about the private industry councils on-the-job training contracts that we do with Rusty through the Pathways Division. So stay tuned for a great show. Welcome to the PIC Connection. I'm John Evans, your host, and on the show today is Rusty Smalley from George Smalley Electrical Company, and also Frank Stoner from the Cooper Lighting Company out of Pittsburgh. And gentlemen, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us today.
Hey, we're going to be covering a lot of things today about energy savings, and let me start out with Frank. Frank, what are the trends in the energy field and the cost of saving money in that field?
Well, over the past 5 years, we've seen a pretty consistent increase of about 10% a year on electric costs, which about 25% of the cost in a building, commercial, industrial, residential, well, not so much residential, but commercial industrial is from the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're seeing now is a great opportunity to take the old inefficient T12
this long
dinosaur,
one here?
yeah, and a lot of commercial applications.
Well, I grew up with these.
This has been around for a long time, and there's still a lot of people, probably 30% out there, the commercial still has this. T8, and the T8 is the diameter of the lamp, an eighth of an inch. So T12 is an inch and a half,
Okay.
T8 is an inch, and then the newest technology is the T5.
Okay.
Okay, about 5/8 of an inch.
Boy, that is, look at that. And that'll give out just as much as light as...
This is actually, you're seeing these replace an HID lamp in industrial applications.
Wow.
The metal halide.
That is incredible.
About 5,000 initial lumens per lamp.
And then this one is saving way more energy than the old big one here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're about 2,800 lumens, 2,900 lumens on the T12 at 40 watts. You're about 5,000 lumens at 54 watts.
Wow. And Frank, so is it good to say or safe to say that new buildings being put up now, these type of lamps are being used more?
We're seeing a mix of the T5 and the T8. There's still different applications for each, depending on, what we would do is we'd go in and kind of scope out the ceiling heights and reflectances and what applications are going on and decide what's the best fit on which lamp.
Are those retrofits? Are you taking these, the older ones out, and are you able to do that as you go along to?
We have a variety of products from retrofit kits to where we can go in and take an older fixture and just gut it out, take out the old magnetic T12, very inefficient ballast, generate a lot of heat.
Yeah, very familiar with that.
They were a nightmare as far as you had to know the voltage going in. If you didn't have the right voltage, it was a nightmare with contractors sending it out to the field to the more efficient electronic ballasts, which are universal voltage.
Let's hold that up there, Frank.
120 through 277.
My goodness. Boy, is that streamlined.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this size ballast will a lot of times power either 2 or 4 lamps, so you have different options. Sometimes we, in daylight harvesting situations or in a retail situation, you may have a 3-lamp fixture that during stocking periods or cleaning periods you would turn 2 lamps off and that'd be enough light, just 1 lamp. So there's not only ways to save money with the fixture and the ballast, but also the control is a factor. And
boy, that is great, because I'm an old ex-retail manager, and I used to have night stocking crews, and we have to leave all the lights on. I thought, my goodness, all the money we're wasting here. But now, with these new lamps, we'll save some money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was about a typical 4-lamp. That's what you saw years ago. Everybody would put a 4-lamp T12 fixture in.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of just what you did. And over the years, even the IES has lowered their foot candle requirements for what they used to. So there's not only energy efficient ways to save money, a lot of areas are actually overlit. So we don't even need as many fixtures. So we can go in and reduce the fixtures, and then...
Boy, oh boy, that is going to save a lot.
Yeah, you're going from a 4-lamp T12 that's about 160 watts down to a 2-lamp T8 at 64 watts. So
wow.
It's real easy to cut your energy bill in half with the new technology.
And they last longer?
Yeah, the T5 is rated, this lamp actually keeps going up. When it came out, it was rated for 20,000 hours, and it's up in the 30,000 hour range.
Okay, fantastic.
An example at the Frank's Auto job, we started that job out, the initial install had 792 lamps. The new design, more lighting, higher foot candle level, we did that with 132 lamps.
Phew.
So big difference there.
Boy, that is. And what's it going to be interesting, Rusty, later on in the show, you're going to take us on a tour of Frank's Auto supermarket here in Uniontown, and that should be interesting too.
Yeah, you'll get to see the actual fixture we installed, put a new ceiling in there too, and I don't know, Frank, you want to talk about, a lot of folks don't think much about the color of the lamp.
Yeah, the phosphors, in any of the fluorescent lamps, there's phosphors, which the mercury bounces around and comes out different colors depending on what phosphors they put in there. And you can go from a warm white, which is like an incandescent in your house, up to a 5,000 daylight, bright white, almost like a blue light. And that goes into a lot of new things that are coming out and being discussed with scotopic and phototopic lumens, the way your eye perceives light. So there's a lot of advances in lighting to where, with different colors, different sources, there's a great way to save a lot of money. Okay.
Frank and Rusty, we got about a minute left before we have to go into a commercial break. But when we come back, I'd like you to talk about maybe the codes, the laws, rebates, tax credits for all this new energy-saving lamps, okay?
Okay.
So let's go ahead and take our first break, and we'll be back, and you are watching the PIC Connection.
I'm Amy Oldland, and I'm Polly Stoll, and we're at the Redstone Center, and you're watching the PIC Connection!
Visit the Private Industry Council website at www.privateindustrycouncil.com. We offer employer services, SAGE skills assessment, personal services, basic workplace skills, government procurement assistance program, customized job training, employer tax incentives, homeless prevention and rapid rehousing programs, welfare programs, and pathways out of poverty, services, training and certifications, eligibility, pathways for employers and pathways for partners, education, adult education services, education and technology, youth services, early childhood development, the Head Start of Fayette County, Dads Matter, pre-K counts, Steve Corson's newsletters, community benefits such as the PIC Connection, Telecommunication Center, community technology, links, contact information, the message board, and job openings. The Private Industry Council of Westmoreland Fayette, where needs are met, goals are reached. You can also find the Private Industry Council of Westmoreland Fayette on Facebook. Just search Private Industry Council for updates and information.
We are back, and once again you are watching the PIC Connection, and with me today is Rusty Smalley from George Smalley Electrical Company, and Frank Stoner, a representative from Cooper Lighting out of Pittsburgh. And gentlemen, once again, thanks for coming on the show today. Hey, this is all interesting stuff. I mean, there is so much going on in the energy field, and the savings and rebates and stuff like that. But Rusty, maybe quickly, when we left for a commercial break, we were going to touch a little bit on maybe like the rebates and some tax credits.
Okay. Well, last week or so ago, ALS and Cooper had a seminar in Pittsburgh, and different municipalities with the National Electrical Code and some of these energy codes, there are several different code formats out there, and they plan to adopt the code at a certain time every year, so they could be in a different rev of code. So Cooper had provided us a resource that no matter what state that we're working with, or what municipality, they keep that updated constantly, so we can see the code that you would have to comply with. And
yeah, see, it's a map of the United States, which I believe we'll get that up on the screen too.
Right, and so that's a great resource for us. And I think that's the strength of a local contractor. Frank's company represents several national manufacturers, and of course the manufacturers are working to design and provide services nationwide through the repping firm. So the way the team works, a job like Frank's, first we audit all the existing fixtures that are there, and then Frank's group helps design the best fixture choices for that job. And sometimes, it's up to the owner. There may be something he prefers. Sometimes we can provide a solution with several options. Then all those items are put into the spreadsheet, and we can actually tell you how much your existing system, how much power it's using, and the new design you select. So a little later we'll see some bar graphs and so forth of the design at Frank's. But we've spent several years now getting familiar with all this so we can provide that design to our customers. And then there's also right now there are power company rebates and tax rebates. So we process all those forms, make that available to you, then you simply take it to your tax consultant and sign off on those forms, and you receive whatever rebates are available. So that helps with the return on investment.
Sounds easy enough.
Huh. It's easy when we get done, yeah.
Okay. All righty. Rusty, do you want to talk about, I know we want to talk a little bit about the controls, like occupancy sensors, dimmers, lamp life, things like that.
Yes, besides, like I mentioned before, besides selecting a lamp, you can simply have a simple wall switch replacement, so when that room's occupied, the light comes on. There are centralized systems. Most all the major retailers control the lighting in their stores from their corporate headquarters. So when it comes time of day for stocking, there's no choice there. The lights do go out. So a version of that, we can put in smaller buildings. Frank probably has had a little more experience daylight harvesting than I've had.
Yeah, daylight. Again, we started out with the lamps. One thing Rusty just touched on at Frank's supermarket that helped us tremendously was actually, we have an example of it. I don't know if we can get that on camera, but that's the actual fixture that they replaced an old T12 wraparound fixture, and that's a volumetric type fixture. Gives a lot of light up on the ceiling and just makes the area perceived to be more light. And then what you can do on top of putting a fixture like that in that's more efficient is you could go with a daylight harvesting to where you can either have that ballast switched at different levels. You could put a photocell in the ceiling aimed down, and when it hits a certain foot candle level, it'll shut off half the lamps. Or you can put a dimming ballast in to where it's a gradual change. If the sun comes up and it's coming in the windows and it's contributing to that photosensor, the lights are at a certain level. As the sun goes down and you need more light, it can either snap back on or gradually dim back up. So there's a lot of technology out there that'll save more money.
It's not like the old days, you just go and flip a switch on and everything comes on, but you're burning all kind of energy.
And even in your home, I didn't realize this till we designed a job a number of years ago that had some lamps that were a high ceiling in a bank, and very hard to change. And I think maybe Frank was involved in that project. I didn't bring a chart today, but if for every 10% you dim an incandescent lamp, it gets a longer life, and I think at 30% it extends it.
Yeah, with the incandescents, but
so
that's going to be a dinosaur like this here soon too.
Some manufacturers now, I just picked up something the other day that it's easy now. You put your compact fluorescents in to save some energy at home, but you couldn't dim them. So now you can dim those also. So everything's changing so much every day that we rely on companies like ALS to help us keep up with the latest trends, so we can bring all that the best technology to our customers' applications.
And I imagine more and more customers are asking for this type of technology, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, I think that on the chart that Rusty has, Cooper comes in, and any new commercial building over 5,000 square foot has to be controlled with some sort of lighting control panel, occupancy sensor, a mix. So it's become a requirement, so we're seeing more and more of that. The lighting control panels tie in with the occupancy sensors and daylight harvesting, and that's kind of, they all sync back to that, to where you can tell lights to come on at a certain time of day. They'll override with the occupancy sensors. There's just countless ways to control more efficient lights.
And Rusty, your company can provide organizations with all type of energy saving projects or products, all that information?
Yeah, we would normally just do a site visit and look over the project, and then work with Frank to, because a medical application would be different than a retail application in an office where you have computers. Some other figures or lingo for these processes. Everybody's seen on their electric bill the KW figure on your electric bill. So some of the math from the Frank's project was the existing load was 35.6 kW. With the new lighting installed, they're now at 7.7, which is 78% reduction.
Holy cow! That's big.
In the lighting load, dollar-wise, that was a $8,369 a year load at that current price, which is going up every year. So that was reduced to $1,813. So we have some charts here that actually show the, and this is what a customer would receive from us.
Okay.
You know, these charts.
And we'll have those charts on the screen for you.
So you can see that their load of over $8,000 a year has been cut to $1,800. You can also see here that interesting thing that they put a lot of times is the cost of not doing anything, which is $546 a month.
Just from not doing anything.
If you just leave it like it is. So you know, that gives you an idea. Well, if I have to borrow this money, I might be saving enough to make payments on it or help out with it. And then we also receive what's important to most folks is a return on investment. So we just received the report today from Frank's that actually was commissioned and done by the power company that's required for their rebates. But we're here at a somewhere between a 2.5 and 3 year return on investment. So this investment will pay for itself.
Okay.
In less than 3 years.
And we'll get this all up on the screen. And also, viewers, stay with us. We're going to go to Frank's Auto Supermarket here in Uniontown and take a tour with Rusty.
I'm Rusty Smalley from the George Smalley Company, and here this morning with Rick Frank from Frank's Auto Supermarket.
I'm Rick Frank, the owner and president of Frank's Auto Supermarket stores.
We had completed a lighting retrofit job here at Frank's Auto. Previously, this facility had a metal ceiling with surface-mounted fluorescent T12 lamps. A new ceiling was installed and new fixtures. These fixtures are a direct and indirect fixture. Some light comes out of the fixture directly and some bounces off the fixture and distributes in a more even fashion. This store previously had 792 lamps. Now we have 132, so drastically reduced the amount of lamps here in the store and the amount of energy that was used. You can see that in this scenario we have some challenges. We have the shelving that goes in different directions. So a little later in the show we'll talk about foot candles and the fixtures and ballasts and so forth. But we have a challenge here that the ceiling height is always considered, the reflective surfaces of the area that we're trying to light, and also color of the lamp is a factor. When you're in the retail, you have a lot of different colors, so the color rendering of the lamps helps to highlight items that colors involved with carpet or other selections. Have you seen what's your difference that you see, Rick, between the old install and the new installation here?
Well, this is a project that we had talked about for many years, probably for 20 years. We just didn't know how to go about doing it. Lowering the ceiling, replacing the ceiling was something that we talked about but didn't really have a person to do it at the time. Relamping the store with energy efficient fixtures was, kind of a dream. I think a lot of business owners would do it more if they knew how to do it. We didn't even really know where to begin. We were fortunate that Rusty Smalley and his people came to us with the project. You folks had already, you mapped out the whole layout of the store. You mapped out the fixtures over the aisles. As you said, that was a planogram kind of a challenge that you had, and they did a great job. We're really interested in function. Our customers have to be able to see the merchandise, and so we were concerned about function as well as cost. But we really didn't know how to get the project off the ground, and we were fortunate that you already had the connections, already had the electrical engineers to calculate this stuff, lay it out, and put together the whole project so that it could happen. Because we don't know how to do it, we just put our head down and kept selling auto parts until somebody like you came along and made it happen.
Well, and that's why we wanted to come down today, because most all of this is a mathematical equation that we can look at the fixtures you have existing in your facility and design a new layout, and we can tell you your energy savings that you'll have. But we wanted to come down today to see that when you can replace a tremendous amount of bulbs with the new technology, get an even lighting job, and save a lot of energy. And actually we have more light output here, and the lamps last about twice as long, so it saves you relamping cost. Earlier we filmed a couple other areas. In the office areas, the standard 2x4 lay-in lighting that was in those offices, we really didn't change the fixtures, we just retrofitted them with new lamps and ballast. And in the area where they have a sales counter and the backup stock, that is a mix of retrofit and new lighting. In the alleyways, lights were moved around, and there's been a big improvement there so that the person can be sure that they pick the right part in each one of those aisles. So that worked out very well in that area to reduce the amount of lamps and the amount of energy used, but actually we got more light, and we changed the placement a little bit in those areas. So.
The lighting in the office was increased tremendously with half the number of bulbs. Another factor, when Rusty came to us, these are all calculations and predictions, and from a business owner standpoint, we see and hear a lot of proposals, and we get a lot of pie in the sky kind of proposals about how we can save energy, how we can save money. I've known Rusty for a long time, so when he came to us, his credibility helped us get off dead center on the project. I can tell you the first full month of our electric bill was cut about in half. It was about $1,900 a month here, and it was down $1,000. So those were the real savings. But up to that point, they were all predictions. They were all your people had put down projections on paper, but we didn't really know what they were going to be.
And we've been involved in this work a long time. We have done projects in entire county school systems in West Virginia. We have one of the reasons that we approached Rick the way we did. We've done lighting retrofits in a major drugstore chain, nationwide drugstore chain. And one thing we want to add to the system, if we can, is an energy management panel that will actually manage the HVAC systems here. So we have one more component that we think will add, but we're really happy with the way this project progressed, and not only the new lighting but the new ceiling just really dressed the place up, and we just wanted to have that part of the show that you can actually see on the ground here that things went well and we're saving energy. Frank's Auto has a green commitment here, and is a good neighbor, not only a good supplier to the community, but a good neighbor with energy usage and carbon output and that type of thing.
Rusty's people, there was a minimum amount of disruption for the store. The ceiling installation, we had a concern how that would affect the light retrofitting, the light installation. They rewired the lights. the HVAC ducts, everything was a minimum of disruption to our customers, so that really helped a lot.
Thank you for the job.
Thank you. We're thinking about doing another one.
Good, good.
My name is Bob Hoke, and I'm the teacher at the Masontown One Center, and you're watching the PIC Connection.
Okay, we're back, and once again, you are watching the PIC Connection, and we're in the wrap-up part of the program. And once again, I'd like to thank Rusty Smalley from George Smalley Electrical Company and Frank Stoner from Cooper Lighting Company out of Pittsburgh for coming on the show today. Rusty, any thoughts you kind of want to wrap the show up with? You have?
Well, a couple things. One item that we learned at our seminar, that the Department of Energy estimates that $115 billion a year spent on electrical energy for lighting in the United States, and they estimate that 50% of that is wasted.
Wow.
So there is a lot of opportunity to save. The other thing, we have been working with PIC, CareerLink, and the Fayette Energy Grant. So we've actually been hiring new employees who have been doing installing, did some of the work at Frank's. We have some crews working at Nation in the eastern United States at a national drugstore chain, putting in energy management panels. So we're saving money here in Fayette County and providing some jobs with...
well, hey, I like to hear that, providing jobs.
Providing jobs in Fayette County, yeah.
Fantastic. And once again, thank you guys for coming on the show. It was really interesting. And also want to thank you for taking us on a tour of Frank's Super Auto Market store down in Uniontown.
Oh, they're going green.
Well, they are, and it's a fantastic place, so please visit it. And that'll do it for today, and I'll see you all next time on the PIC Connection. Okay. Hello, I'm John Evans, and welcome back to the PIC Connection. If you have any questions or comments about today's show, please email me at jevans@privateindustrycouncil.com, and I will select a few messages to read at the end of the next show. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. But before I leave, I do have some emails from viewers that emailed me here last week. I have one from Bill. He is from Masontown, and Bill would like to know if there is any more training positions available in the Energy Home Inspection program. Yes, Bill, there is still some openings there, and you can call 724-434-5627 and ask for a Pathways Case Manager, and they'll get you in the right direction. Also, I have an email from Jim. He's from Uniontown. Jim would like to know if the Private Industry Council has other programs that he may be able to look into. And yes, Jim, Private Industry Council does have many other programs, and you can call 724-437-2590 or 724-434-5627, and just ask you'd like to speak to somebody in the Private Industry Council, and those people will get you steered in the right direction. And finally, a good one from Alice, who's from Uniontown. She wrote in and said that those are not yaks that we had in the last program. Alice, you're all right, but our director, videographer, Harry Metz, has a sense of humor, and he just had to put yak, yak, yak in that. We'll see you all next time on the PIC Connection.